Hello everybody, welcome along to this video. Mr. Johnson teaches A Christmas Carol, focusing here on Dickens's life, a video to try and give you a bit more background about the writer, with information that you then can link to his writing of the novella A Christmas Carol. It's part of your GCSE English Literature, A Christmas Carol, and you'll find it on Paper 1, Section B, so it's one of the first exams that you have to do for your English, and it's the second part of that exam. And it's just important, as I'm about to go on to say, that you have some awareness of the context, which is what I want to say on this next slide. AO3, that's Assessment Objective 3, it's one of three areas that you are marked for when the examiner is reading your response to the question in the exam. So why do you need to know it? Well, as I've said there, the circumstances, they form the setting around a text. The novella A Christmas Carol isn't just something that's written in isolation. The events at the time are what have influenced Charles Dickens to write it. And also the context includes his motivations, as I've written there as well. So you need to be aware of these things as you're studying the novella and when you're writing about it as well. So here he is then, Charles Dickens, considered one of Britain's greatest writers, as I've put there. He is very well known. As the next bullet point says, he produced 15 novels, 5 novellas. Now just touch upon here again, the difference between a novel and a novella essentially is how long it is. There are rough guidelines, so to think of novellas as shorter ones, and A Christmas Carol is a novella. But he also had hundreds of short stories. He produced a number of articles, non-fiction pieces as well. In his lifetime, he travelled to America twice, which at that time was certainly quite an achievement, and so something you didn't see very too often. And he also gave large readings. He was a real performer, Charles Dickens, and he very much enjoyed the stage, and he would give readings from his books, adopting the characters and so forth. So think of that man as the one who has written A Christmas Carol and try and hold him in mind. But there's a lot more detail we need to look at in his life, which really you can feed into your writing or when you're discussing A Christmas Carol. And let's start with his early life then. He was the second of 8 children. That's the first thing to note there. So large family, and one of the oldest. When he was 12, so this was in the 1820s, Charles Dickens' father was sent to a prison for debtors, for being in debt and owing money. The family had been living beyond their means, essentially, and almost spending too much, and ultimately Charles's father is put into prison. Some of the family at that time, you used to have some of your family go with you to prison. As one of the older members, Charles had been at school, but he had to stop his schooling and actually go and get a job in order to provide money, because even though you were in prison, you would still have to actually pay to be in prison, believe it or not. So basically, Charles Dickens ends up supporting his family as a 12-year-old, and his job was basically working in a boot blacking factory. So this is literally things like a material and a chemical to make boots darker. His job was pasting labels onto bottles for hours and hours a day, and it actually made a real impression on Charles Dickens. My final bullet point there is the most important point about this little story, is it was this hard work in those tough conditions. It made a deep impression on the young Charles Dickens, and it really focused his mind later on being critical of how the poor and the young were treated. And also, it particularly gave him a fear of debt as well, which is something you can sort of see in the character of Scrooge. But the way that Scrooge acts and the way that Dickens acts in his later life are two very different things. But a fear of money. If your father is thrown into prison because he went into debt and wasn't careful with money, that would probably have a deep impression upon you. So let's move along. Charles Dickens did eventually go on to become a writer. It wasn't the first thing he went on to do. He worked with courts and so forth, but ultimately he ended up reporting on what was happening in courts, and those reports ultimately go into newspapers. And it gave him real experience of those characters, but I'll come on to that later. So later on then, his first short story, 1833. His first novel, 1836. Serialised is a key word here as well. Serialised is when it's broken up into chunks, almost the chapters in fact, and they would be published in what you might want to call magazines for our mind. They were journals, but they were almost weekly supplements, and sometimes monthly. These stories would be released bit by bit by bit, and it encouraged people to buy these newspapers and read along. So serialised, and then A Christmas Carol was also serialised in 1843. So it's just worth having that awareness that it wasn't just published as a book, but released in sections. He also went on to produce his own journals and publications, like the one we were talking about just a moment ago. He also held readings from his works. They were enormously popular, including A Christmas Carol as well. So that's the Charles Dickens becoming a writer. But now let's talk about his characters, because Charles Dickens is really known as a writer who created really rich and engaging and exciting characters in his writing. He knew the quirks and idiosyncrasies I've put there of London. Idiosyncrasies is a fantastic word for basically meaning basically our quirks, our personalities, what makes us the characters we are. He knew London really, really well. Part of that was because he spent his time in his early life in the courts, as we said, and he would be seeing all sorts of people going into court, and almost those people were inspiration for some of his later characters. But also, Charles Dickens was a bit of an insomniac, somebody who really struggles to sleep, like properly struggles to sleep, and for a period of several weeks he used to go walk in the streets of London every night, sometimes racking up 15-20 miles a night of walking. But what this meant, as my fourth bullet point says there, he really experienced the effects of houselessness, poverty, and those who were suffering. If you were walking those sorts of streets, as you see in the image there, and you're seeing other people out at night, those are the people who are homeless, those people who are suffering, those people who are in poverty. So he really got first-hand experience. He knew London very well, and that translates into his characters, and also was why he was such a popular writer, because people could see those characters for themselves as well. And as I've said at the very bottom, it was these walks really, he said, which helped him craft the novella in his mind and sort of build up A Christmas Carol. Ragged schools is something else I want to touch upon within Charles Dickens' life as well. So you could call him a philanthropist. It's a really good word for somebody who, in simple terms, helps others or gives money to help others. So maybe somebody who gives to charity is a philanthropist. Charles Dickens was really horrified by the conditions that children were having to work in. There was a report released in 1843, and that was a direct inspiration for A Christmas Carol, but I'll come on to that a little bit later. He was appalled by the conditions that some children were having to work in, the cruelty. We're talking in factories and in mines. So he campaigned to support what then became known as ragged schools, and the picture actually really demonstrates that on your screen there. You've got a child there, and the clothes are very ragged and patched up, and that's where they got their nickname from. These schools were basically to provide education to the poorest. As my final bullet point really tells you, it was a way that society could prevent ignorance and want, who are two characters who feature briefly in the novella. But essentially it allowed people to work out of poverty, so they're not trapped in a cycle of being poor forever. If you are poor, you grow up and have children who then go on to become poor because you can't educate them because you can't afford to. These ragged schools were free to those who most need, and actually started to give them an education so they could work their way out of poverty. So that's just something to be aware of as well. Charles Dickens really sort of had a fight and a campaign to try and support these sorts of people. And again, hopefully you can see how that might tie in with the themes of the novel, or the novella. I keep calling it a novel, but it is a novella. So let's talk about A Christmas Carol more specifically then. As I put at the top there, inspired by the government report on working conditions for children and women. It was a report which went into the detail of looking at just the unbelievably tough conditions that children were facing, particularly working in mines as well. This report focused on about how they barely had enough food, they weren't able to go to church, they were working sometimes 12, 14, 15 hours a day. These are children of 9, 8, 7, down to 4, and even it's just staggering. It was a staggering report. Dickens read this, so the second bullet point states this. Instead of just writing an article in response to this report he read about this cruelty, Dickens felt a novella would actually help draw public attention to the issues, and to quote him, to strike the heaviest blow in my power, to try and do the thing he can do which has the most impact. He felt writing a story would actually allow people to access these ideas rather than actually just telling them what he thinks, which maybe wouldn't be so engaging. So it was serialised in 1843 in the run-up to Christmas, and this is really important to bear in mind. It was written with his wealthy readership in mind. The poor couldn't afford a book like this. It would have been 5 shillings. That would have been far beyond anything they could afford. So he isn't writing it for poor people. He is writing it for the rich, because they are the ones who can afford to read it, and they are the ones who can afford to support those who are in need, and probably could be the ones who are actually in charge of places like mines and all these working conditions. So really important that he is writing it for that audience and trying to change their minds. And that's what I touched upon here really in my key messages. So as I've mentioned now a couple of times, he was horrified by the suffering of women and children outlined in that government report about them working in those conditions. He wants to use Scrooge as a mirror for the wealthy in society. Imagine them looking at Scrooge and seeing themselves reflected. It's showing them maybe the path that their life is on, like Scrooge in the illustration there. And they're almost being shown what they need to do to change and why it's important to change. The novella highlights the true importance of Christmas, but also the importance of humanity, basic sharing, love, kindness, togetherness, family, benevolence, which means kindness. These are things which we as human beings, Dickens believes, need to show to one another in order to live the best life and for the world to be the best place it can be. And that's again what is mirrored in A Christmas Carol. When you are reading it and exploring Scrooge's experiences, really we are being then led to consider our own experiences as well. And as I put at the bottom there, really a key message, we can all change and we can all be something better, much better than we possibly are at the minute. So that is the end of the video. I'm just going to flick back to that screen for a second before I show you my questions. It really is important. I can't overstate and overemphasize to you how important it is to actually understand Dickens and understand his motivations. And then if you can feed that into your writing when you're writing about the novel or the novella, you are likely to gain yourself more marks. These recap questions, all of the answers are within this video. Have a go at them just to test yourself and write down the answers. And when you're done, feel free, check out other videos. I've got a channel full of videos here. So on A Christmas Carol, the poems, Inspector Calls, and Macbeth, and all the language as well. So they're all there to try and support you when it comes to your GCSE exams. When that happens for you, I wish you the very best of luck. Thanks for watching this video all the way to the very end, and goodbye.